Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome in, welcome in. Hello, Psych, it's Tara. What's up? Are you Jellin? Ann M, Joyful One, Van Williams, Diana, what's up? ZCS, how is everyone doing today? Oh, my hair is doing some fun little things here in this little bun. Well, whatever, this is what it is. So, today it was very hot outside. What's up, Monica? And I was like, I am not going to stand in the sun in 90-degree weather. What's up, Pacific Northwest Wildflower Girl? Um, what's up, Dumpster Juice? Yeah, so the lady in the picture in the thumbnail, we'll talk about her a little bit more. She has definitely been in some of my videos, and those are all of the teachers. So first of all, we're gonna go in order of their little schools. What's up, California? Hello, hello. What's up, Tom Cruise? Hello from Connecticut. Let's go to. Hmm, hmm, let's try this again. Okay, we'll just share the screen then. All right. No, that's definitely not what I wanted to do. So, hello, 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 everyone. So this article is from Tony Ortega in 2019, and this is a picture of Jonathan and Jessica David in their Austin home. These people are not nice people. Jessica is giving very much Claire Headley, where she like seems really sweet, nice, and lovely, but also has like a streak. And her husband Jonathan is a real treat. So some of you are familiar with the credit card scamming that FSCIENTO does, where they will get credit cards for other people by lying about how much money they are making and then charge up those credit cards. Well, our friend Jonathan David here in this picture, that was his job in Austin. Isn't that great? Um, and he would get a fee. So he would get money from the org for doing this. And then let's say that like he opened up a credit card for you that had like points. Well, he would take those too. He would take those too. So when you're charging up a couple hundred grand on somebody's card, it's going to be a lot of points. These people do need to come out with their cans up for sure. Um, so these two were like, hey, we want to build a and the story about like her mother, Lori Hodgson, is pretty tragic as well, but that's for another day. So these people were like, we're going to um, make a schoolhouse in our neighborhood. Totally normal, right? Totally normal. So this is the original preschool building. It still exists. They still have students there. The neighborhood was not pleased because who wants like a school daycare situation in their neighborhood? The neighbors didn't. And of course, what do scientists do? They just sue. They sue to get what they want. So it was opened. So there's that. Okay. Now let's look at the school's web page here. So this is the original school building, this little red one. And I hope that your migraine gets better, Max's mom. and it is my pleasure, Renee, it's my pleasure to take a look into this stuff. So this building is the original little schoolhouse that they had on the previous couples, the Davids property. This building is the new school building, which is next to the elementary school that is run by our friend Tanya and her husband Corbett. It's gross. So this address here off of FM 1826, and for those who don't know, from if you're not from Texas, FM means farm to market, and if you see RM, it means ranch to market. It's just a different way to designate roads here. So they go through all of the stuff that they do. They talk about how they have a chicken coop and a sandbox, and it's totally awesome. Look at how it looks like a totally normal school. Caring for kids age 2 to 5. Music, cooking, science days. Why is it music semicolon, cooking semicolon, science days? Those could just be commas. Um, all sorts of good stuff. And look at that price. For the cost of rent in Southern Austin, you could send your kid to this totally not creepy uh, little schoolhouse here. Okay, so I did want to just look at the policies and procedures because I just thought it was very interesting. This is all really standard stuff here. Um, you can look through this. I can drop all the links in here, but it's it's standard and it's annoying, but I want to talk about. So you have to bring all of the supplies for your kids, diapers, creams, ointments. Okay. They're going to teach you how to wash your hands and learn how to use the potty. It's really great. Um, I love that they talk about children's lungs and muscles and why they need to play outside, but they're probably like, because we have to by law. But I thought it was interesting. Where is it? There was something about, maybe I passed it. There was something about like how um, they don't do any physical restraints or corporal punishment. And I'm just like, oh, so you just save that for Davy? Cool, cool. What's up, San Francisco? So there's that. Okay, so this is it's right there. Um, these types of discipline are completely prohibited. So I guess what they're trying to say is like it's not going to be like you're in the RPF or something. So yeah, this is their pre-grooming. That's exactly what it is, Monica. This is the pre-grooming. So no, this one is not, you can't find any direct ties to the Delphi or Mace Kingsley, but just wait, because that's coming. So let's look at Tanya's little school. So this is Tanya's school. You've seen her before, and you've seen this idiot before. Sadly, you've probably seen those kids before. So it's a private school, personalized education to students from 5 to 12 years old. Depending on the website that you look at, they have either 6 kids or 12 kids enrolled. Um, this is they are using the Delphi School BS. And then you can see here, meet our neighbors, Bright Beginning School. Well, that's the Davids little school. Yeah, so New Leaf is owned by Corbin Springer, who is Tanya's husband. And so these two, and then this guy, George, and then lots of really awesome testimonials that are, I'm sure, totally, totally legitimate. So then I looked at their academics, and what did I see? And for any of you who don't know about Heron Books, you just take a guess As to what those are about also. Jenna Miscavige sure as hell got restrained physically, and yeah, absolutely. And so let me tell you, I don't believe them. Okay, but then when you look at the fact that they use the hair in books, oh, you mean they've just put little school friendly covers on all of Elrond's books for children? This is so gross. This is so gross. So our little friend Tanya, who likes to have her own little Sciento hissy fits and has to film me filming her, she owns a whole school, a whole school. And she's running, I guess, the preschool as well. So all of these books are in their curriculum. Not creepy. Totally not creepy. Good thing that they're doing the ethics book in elementary school. So I did a couple of just brief searches to see what they're doing, and here it says that they have a 5-to-1 ratio with 12 students. 12 students for grades K to 6 is not awesome, but it's also not cheap, so, and here, this is the one that I thought was a little bit more helpful. So this review, so here's the pictures of the school. There's our girl Tanya. Like, I don't know what this is, but it's probably some sort of like he's gotta, like, say cardinal 937 times or something. Um, they are a competency-based school, which means that they're not using standardized testing. They have their own competency metrics, so they can just assess what they'd like to because 'cause they're a private school. So I'm sure it's totally not based on auditing. Look at these kids are just, like, learning how to make their own e-meter, a circuit board. Um, these kids are learning what it'll be like in the RPF when they're older. These kids are never gonna experience this again. And apparently they go to the zoo. And they're allowed to use sidewalk chalk, so I assume that that means that I get to use sidewalk chalk. So this is their new Leaf Academy. So it's K through 6 private, competency-based education with personalized programs, which probably just means that like just like any punishment in Scientology, they will personalize it for you so that it's extra creepy and weird. Awesome. 7-to-1 teacher ratio, student teacher ratio. Yeah, it's the lowest you'll find in Austin because no one else is sending their kids to Sciento schools. Gross. But ma'am, I don't believe you. Couple so the mission, okay, great. Intelligent thinkers that'll make a positive impact. You don't want that. But our philosophy of allowing students to think for themselves, I don't believe you. And you get an ideal learning environment for your young ones. Again, I don't believe you. Not you saying that it's non-sectarian. Not you saying that it's non-sectarian. So it's a whole 4 years old, 6 students. It looks like they have only 2 kids in grades 3, 4, and 5 each. They have 2 whole teachers, so Tanya and her husband. Um, $9,000 a year, and, yeah, it's just absolutely tragic. So this is where it's located. They're both so this map view here is the New Leaf Academy the, um, and the preschool here. They're definitely teaching all of Elrond stuff here. This is the picture I want. Come on, please take me this picture. Oh, I hate using this on my computer. Why doesn't it work the way I want? Let's see. Here we go. All right. So this is the thumbnail. Oh yeah, I think more reviews are definitely needed. So we've seen her. She's a staff member. She's always in very ill-fitting staff attire, and she always has like a creeped out Xenu smile. This is our girl Tanya. This is her husband Corbin, and then this kid whose name I forget. He was he's a second gen, but he kind of like strayed away, and then once he was in college, he got more into it. But he was not he's not really allowed to do a whole lot of stuff at the org because well, he got in trouble for selling a lot of pot. So I'll be making sure that all the folks at the org know that this kid has the best pot in town. So this is what's happening at this place. I don't know where they have pumpkins in Austin, but they found it. So this is what is happening around town as far as their Delphi schools. So they do have the one that's not very well attended. Then they have the two preschools that are run by some really nasty, tragic people. And then this really sad story um, about this woman Lori's kids, and about how these people just did what they wanted in the neighborhood. Imagine that. The homeowners association was like, "No, thank you. We don't allow this." And they were like, "There's lots of people running businesses out of their home." And they're like, "Working from home isn't the same." And they were like, "We're gonna sue." So they did. So just, Scientos doing what Scientos do. Dragon Tears for me, you may send me an email, and you can use, if you, either way, if you send it to prosnappy at Gmail or prosnappy at Proton Mail, they will all end up in my Proton Mail. So that is what I found out here. Um, I yeah, I was looking to see if they had something like that here, and they don't. So there are no Mace Kingsley um, schools here. They don't even have the tutoring things like they have in Hollywood, and I think that there's one in Boston, right? One of those tutoring places, but there are not any here that I've found. And so feel free to send me more information if you know about more. Um, but this is what I found. And so I think that I'm going to do some digging, and we're going to show Sciento what actual research looks like. Not the kind that Gene does. Gene who can't fill out a permit. Gene who can't even try to expose the right Leslie Perlman in Austin, so that half of the charges that they tried to get against me have to be voided out and they have to file new ones because she's an idiot. Took Sean to get it right. Good old Sean. There's some good stuff that I'm working on for our friend Sean. Um, so this is really gross. And I'm going to look into every single thing that they have ever filed with respect to education, because this is my wheelhouse. And I'm also looking for information about their other front groups in Austin, like the Partnership for a Drug-Free World, Narcanon, because based on some conversations that I've had with people that are associated with the university, they're definitely playing it up like they're really doing awesome things for people and drug abuse, which is not surprising that they would claim that, but we also know that it's a whole bunch of BS. So, oh, I know Sean's heart palpitated. He is 2D flowing me so hard through his stalking of my information. It's so cute. Okay, so this. Okay, so Applied Scholastics has a search for tutors in schools. Okay, I can check and see if that exists here, because I think that's what's in. Is that what's in Boston? Somebody will tell me. Yeah, one shirt Sean. This is one yeah, a one shirt Sean is the only one who can at least do anything, but, he's gonna have a really he's gonna love what I'm building for him. He's really gonna love it. They sure did. Will and Jada opened a Delphi school. They sure did. They're not good people. They are terrible human beings. She's really gross, and I listened to her whole stupid memoir, and it was tragic, and I don't believe her. And those people are problematic. And guess what? They like to sleep with people that are way too young for them. Isn't that weird? Isn't that so weird? So they're just gross. So now that I found out about this, I won't be driving by because I'm not trying to like freak out kids. And that's the kind of stuff that in Texas like probably could get you in trouble, but I still know how to verify all the paperwork and figure out what they're doing and look into them on that level. So morning shot, Tanya and Corbin, Osa, tell your friends. That stupid cop that hangs outside of the building who also watches my streams, go tell your friends that they have like a day maximum to get their paperwork in order. Okay? They have a day. They have a whole day to get the BS in order. Um, the kids probably do want to expose them. And just keep in mind that Tanya was trafficked into this too. And this woman, she trafficked her kid into it because she's got a kid there too, who's probably close to Tanya's age. So, Dawn, that is, ugh, we sure do, and they want it to be more. They want it to be even more school of choice. And as somebody who has worked for charter schools, I don't stand behind that. And I can have a whole live just based on what a pyramid scheme and disaster that tends to be. Um, awesome, thank you. I am hoping that I can find out everything that is going on and just be able to kind of, tease them about it when I run into them. I also have a PhD in education, Don. I appreciate it. Um, so I will be. This is. I can't wait to dig into this and look through all their paperwork and see what they're doing because I promise you that they are not dealing adequately with IEPs, individualized education plans. I suspect that their assessment is BS, and that's very specifically what my PhD in education is, educational measurement. So I'm pretty sure that these idiots aren't doing any of that right. And I also want to know what assessments they're building based on L. Ron Hubbard's writings. So that'll be something that I'll be digging into with the curriculum and any other assessments that I can find. But I just found this out today, and I wanted to raise the awareness about this. So, like, if any of your friends are sending their kids to these creep places, like, let them know. Now, the good news is that it looks like this is the entire school, right? This is like all of the kids in the entire school. It's still too many. They're 100% not learning anything useful in the real world. There's no way that they're learning anything. If your curriculum is based on L. Ron Hubbard, yeah, you're not learning anything except for how to be groomed to be an F-sciento. Um, they don't have to, and they won't. They mention it in the preschool because there's more laws around the preschools, and, like, just minimum standards that any daycare, because it's really a daycare. So they are going by those. I was able to, like, look up all their stuff, and so they are current for that, and I'm sure that, like, the minimal amount of things, but I've seen how these people fill out, paperwork. Um, so we'll have to see. But that's what I found out here, about these schools. So, um, Liz, is that are you so you do want to have a question or you do wanna have a conversation? You're asking me if I want to have one? Do you want me to drop you the link, or should we have that off camera? It's up to you, Liz. You just let me know. Also, hi, and thanks for being here. So, yeah, this is pretty gross. It's also super creeptastic that it's, like, just, like, in a yard, just, like, in a neighborhood. Just in a neighborhood. Oh, good, right by the Dyslexia Center of Austin. I'm sure none of the students will ever be aware that that exists. Oh, I think that, let me click this. Sarah, I think that you should. That would be great. If there's anything I could do to help you, 100%. I have so many questions about how you assess this. I have so many questions about what they mean by, like, competency based. I mean, I know what that means, but I wanna know what it means for them. Um, okay, so they're gonna say that they hired qualified teachers, but every teacher that works there is an FSCIENTO. Um, they're all FSCIENTOs. Yes, private property. It's, like, probably Tanya's yard. Um, that is a great question. So there's a couple of ways that I have found out. So one of the things, um, is to go to the actual Scientology.org website. Here, we could just we'll do it together. Ugh, bleh. No, I'm not curious. Bleh. So at the very bottom of this page, they have links to all sorts of things. Okay, so here's the applied scholastics, right? So you could click on stuff here and it'll tell you. So just go to that page, and all of these things are their front groups. Okay, these are all of their front groups. Now, does it have the front group for the front group? Not necessarily. Not necessarily, because there are some that have like a double front group that PTS for Life was kind of talking about. Um, but all of their BS front groups are on this website. So you can find the majority of them. You can also, if you know how to use open source Intel techniques, OSINT techniques, you can do an nmap on their URL, and it will map out everything that fsciento owns. It will also map out, like, it'll map out all of the subdomains here. So their domain is scientology.org. All of these things are subdomains. So you'll be able to find most of their BS through here. Um, like all their crap, advancing universal human rights, all this crap, it's here. So they'll all follow under the similar names. And so if you're ever just confused, just go to this website and be like, oh, I saw this weird thing about drug rehab today. I wonder if it's related to F Sciento. And it probably is. With respect to the list of front groups, just go to the website and scroll to the bottom and go to how we help. Here, I'll drop the link. How's that? How's that? There you go. This way you get this page just has it like all organized. You bet, Jane. This one has it all organized. Also, just like poking around this website, like it is ridiculous. Yep. Um, I know I need to. I'm not really familiar with a lot of that channel's stuff, but I need to go there. All right. Electra, question. Even though this is a private school, isn't there some higher institution that monitors what they're doing and teaching? Not in Texas and not in private schools. That's why people choose those things. Now, the flip side of that is that if you want to get into rankings, if you want to be considered in like the US, um, like that US high school ranking every year, or even like middle schools and stuff, you have to play the game and do standardized testing. And specifically for high school, you have to do AP because the way that the rankings in the US news report thing about the school rankings across the country are based on um, AP scores, specifically the ratio of students that get fours and fives to the ratio of students who took them overall. That's like the highest thing to bring your high school to the top of that list, followed by smaller things like teacher to student ratio, percentage of students accepted to college, and then like some other things about standardized tests. There's also other things. So they can kind of do what they want, but the students are the ones that are going to have to prove that they're able to go into a college if they want to. So the schools don't care, but the kids are going to have to be the ones that, like, if they do want to go to college, are going to have to do extra things to prove that they're able to accomplish what they would be expected to do in college, if that makes sense. So the onus would be put on the students to do extra volunteering, to write certain things, or to be involved in certain activities, things like that. Um, yes, they absolutely have, Renee. Well, welcome in. Um, Now that I don't know. That I don't know. It would make sense if they did. They've only been open since 2020, so I don't even know what they were able to do in 2020. Like, if they had to close down or if they just let the 6 kids come, I don't know. But I will look into this. I literally just found out about all this stuff, today. Yeah, no one believes them. Like, come on, no one else is doing the drug-free world stuff. Depends, they can be. They probably could be, especially if you it depends on the state, and it depends on how long they've been established, and it depends on how much they wanna pay to get accredited. It's kinda like a permit. You can kinda pay to play, at least to get things pushed through, but I'm assuming that they have some sort of there's also lots of accreditations. So, are they accredited by, like, NAEP and, like, the NAEP framework, which is the National Association for Educational Progress? Are they accredited by a NAEP framework? Probably not. Are they accredited by some, like, BS framework that just goes around accrediting other questionable private and charter schools? Probably. So, whether or not they're accredited is not the question. It's what is the accreditation agency? No ranking, no money. Right, so the kid got in trouble for selling weed, and now his punishment is to be a teacher because he can't go further, he can't really do much more on course. All of these schools are always doing fundraisers, and most sketchy charter schools are too because it's a money-making scheme, and while they're getting a lot of money from the state that should pay for things, they just pocket that and push it up to the administration and then make the parents do, um, fundraisers. Well, I can promise you that they're not doing standardized tests here. To be fair, I could promise you that. That I don't even need, and these kids are young, so it only goes up to, like, grade 6, so there wouldn't be any AP, and these kids wouldn't do well on a standardized test anyway, plus the STAR test is a disaster. Apparently, Diana, some scientists do go to college. Your mom goes to college, um, because both the kid that got in trouble and Corbin both graduated from the University of Texas. Thank you so much, Joelle. I hate how they place these sites near vulnerable college students. No joke. Very much so on purpose. But the joke's on them now because these college students, they know what it is, and they're like, "Ew," and even the ones that aren't sure go in, and the reaction when they come out is either they're like or they're laughing hysterically. So, I mean, they tried and they failed. They'd be better off probably putting it out by, like, a retirement home. Yes, college does cost money, and it's interesting that these people had it. Yeah, I am surprised that they have that there. I'm also curious about, finding one here. So if there's an Applied Scholastics one, I'll go find it. Um, so you're talking about the accreditations. Yeah, I did not see any accreditations on their website. Um, and if they are, um, like I said, it'll be by like, if you look up that accreditation group, you'll be like, you'll see that they've accredited, like, 7 other highly suspect schools. Mhm. Ew, so watch out if your school uses ABC mouse because the owner and his wife are scientos. Yikes. Right. Rather be in Maui. Nailed it. They may say that they're accredited, but it's all lies like their whole religion. Yes, they can, Renee. Yes, they can. Let me that's if you just scroll down, you could schedule a tour. You could schedule a tour. They have a handy dandy little website there. They've got a little phone number. They do have I think it's on their contact page too, or home or about. Oh, wait, is there a virtual tour? Oh, schedule a tour right there. Schedule a tour right on the homepage. Is this for real? Because I could see that going either way. Hello, Brian. We do, but I don't have kids, and obviously I'm not allowed anywhere near. I'm not allowed. Let's see. It's not even called that now. Now it's the STAR test, if you're talking about the Texas one. They've messed up every contract, and now, like, assessment companies, when they see Texas coming, they're like, we don't wanna do it," especially because Texas has their own Texas history, exam that you have to take to graduate high school, and no one wants to write that. I could tell you that the community college closest to Flag doesn't allow oh, see, that's UT should maybe look into that. I'm still trying to figure out what on earth, front groups are using around campus and how I can find them. So, if any of you UT students are in here, holler at your girl. Well, now I'm gonna have to look into this, Irrelevant Panda, because it's the second time I've seen it now. Yeah. Wait, what? Really? The dude from Veronica Mars' dad started ABC Mouse. Gross. Sadly it is. Um, Probably not, and if they do, it's probably covered in things. Um, I don't have kids. I could dress up my dog, but I don't think that that's gonna work very well. Plus, I think Tanya is gonna know this face. She hates this face. But if you're watching Tanya and you ever wanna get out, just, like, go like this the next time you see me, and, like, I'll know you want help, and I'll figure you out. Figure out a way. Probably Tim. Trying to think if they still have that. There's remnants of that assessment left. The school in New Jersey only goes up to 8th, so this one only goes up to 6th grade, but they don't even have anyone in 6th grade yet, which makes sense if they've only been open for 3 years. So we'll see if they retain the 2 students right now who are in the 5th grade. Yeah. Can you imagine being an actual history person and having to write the Texas state history, like the Texas history exam, knowing how they've changed the curriculum to, like, whitewash everything and make it ridiculous? It's like, we already have to have Juneteenth because of Texas and how they lied about slavery being over. So, you couldn't pay me money to be involved in that. So New Jersey says it uses applied statistics. I'll find out. I was surprised that it did not, but there is a picture of the kids making a circuit, and I'm just gonna I have to tell you, I think that it looks like they're making an e-meter. Let's see. Field trips, probably to the org where they can go take a bunch of nice and have spot treatments. Arts and crafts, build your own e-meter. Gardening, irrelevant, won't ever be outside. Spanish lessons, only to bring in people from Central and South America to your cult. Games, the birthday game. Science experiments, fake news. Sports, what? What sport? What sport? What sport do y'all think that scientists play? We know Keith Raniere really liked volleyball. And, like, who's this guy? Not wait, not them being at a chiropractor's office. Not them going to the chiropractor to learn about medicine. Wow. I don't even have to make jokes. They just make the jokes just make themselves. Okay, so giggles, I do remember Scantron, and one of my first jobs was that I had to design the Scantrons for the Iowa Test of Basic Skills and the COGAT. Oh, what a nightmare. You have no idea what goes into building a Scantron sheet. Nightmare. So glad that those don't exist anymore. She's definitely a creeper, and she's definitely 2D flowing me all the time. Oh, they all call, I don't know where that one went. Fair gaming could be their sport, that's true. Sport clapping, okay, it might be that. How long can you hold your cans up? Dayton dodgeball, okay. They could be trying to electrify the classroom, I could see that. Dayton dodgeball, cans up. I think fair gaming makes sense. Oh, yeah, the overhead projectors, love those. The turtle is probably not assigned to and is probably very upset. Oh, right, okay, so it could be the rundown. Hold on, I'm gonna remember the name of it. I'm gonna remember the name of it. 2 words. Cause reaction? Something like that. Oh, what? Maybe that means that it was right. Where they just run around in a dark room around a lighted pole that's 3 feet in diameter for 5 hours until they get all their new special powers. Training for the RPF, yep. Clapping, yeah. Ooh, scholastic security checks, it could be that. Running away from squirrels. Martial arts would, I think, be great for them, but it would cause them too much introspection, and we can't have that. Yeah, that's also true. There's probably no IEPs or anything like that because they only help the able be more abled. That might be a Thetan that they painted. I was not sure if it was an amoeba, but you know what? It could be a Thetan. Also true, could be body routing as a professional sport, just moving bodies all around. It could be. It could be how to walk at high speeds and not be able to actually use your phone and the flashlight as effectively as, Pearl Snappy. A little rundown. Let's see. When I was in 3rd grade, my teacher was in her 1st year. She was instructed to prepare us for the Iowa test, so we had a unit on Iowa. Oy. Well, at least you can't accuse her of teaching to the test because she definitely was not. Louis Greer, that is a great question, and I bet you the answer is yes. They're probably like most schools, they're like, "Stop tattling." In this school, they're like, "Always tattle. Always tattle." Let us teach you some history about the KGB because that is the kind of level of tattling that we're interested in here. My sister looked up David Miscavige. Turns out they were in the same school. To make it worse, my ex-mother-in-law testified against Davy's father. Dang. That's kinda awesome, though. That's probably one of their games for sure, counting holding their TRs in. Not that I know of, but that's not to say that they don't, like, take field trips to the org just to see. That could be a game too. How many people can you get into the building to buy a book? They probably have, like, little sales games, like, try to just, like, teach each other, like, how to scam one another. They teach each other how to lie. I mean, you get taught how to lie in, I think in the at some point you get taught how to lie. Stare down sport. As a drama kid, I'm a little offended by that. Also, yes, I do believe that that is a Thetan now that I've seen it. How to ignore people, running around a pole, yep. That's okay, you're good. I just wanted to know if you wanted to join me to talk about this or if you wanted to talk about it, offline. Either way, let me know. I can drop you a link. There we go. Thank you. Cause resurgence rundown. How to confront and shatter a suppressive turtle. I'm betting money on the turtle, and that might be a tortoise. I don't know. Don't come for me. This also, Tim, really good point. Excellent physical challenge. This is how you learn how to run around at high speeds in those Elron 5000s. Look, I also, when I was in grad school and I was teaching courses to other grad students and undergrad, my first day of teaching was the worst experience for everyone in that room, mostly the students. It was terrible, and I felt so bad. And that's why I got a huge math tattoo on my back because I was like, "Well, I really want to just quit school right now, but I won't if I have this big giant math tattoo on my back because then people will be like, 'Why do you have a math tattoo?' And you don't wanna be like, 'Oh, well, I used to be in grad school and then I dropped out.'" And honestly, I think it worked. That's right, the junior edition. Yeah, I used, I forget the name of what I used, and I don't have it on this laptop, otherwise, I would just bring it up and show you what I did for that, but that's on my Linux laptop, so I don't have it. There you go. But yeah, so pro tip on this, Haya139, pro tip. Map out the domains and the subdomains for Scientology.org, and you're gonna find first of all, you're gonna find a lot of interesting things. Some things that are not on that website, that are not listed, and you're gonna be like, "Oh," like their little Jive Aces band that goes for the drug-free whatever, like all these weird things you're gonna find. What's interesting though, so a couple things, especially if you're into this nerdery. So they have their own AIN, which like Google has their own number. Okay, like a big internet provider has one. So does Sciento. That's how big their servers are. They've got a lot of shit on their servers. Um, but then also go to one of the hate sites, like who is choose your favorite person and map and do the same command to map that domain and those subdomains. Because I think you're going to find it very interesting for a couple of reasons. They're not on the same server. So all the hate sites are on a Google server, which is separate from the .org server, which is their own proprietary thing. And you can also see like all of the ones that they still have left open. So you can like count how many more sites they can have on that server based on the, you know, the IP addresses. Um, and you should also maybe look at which of the hate sites are not on a secured site. Just saying, Marty Rathbun, not a secure site. So there is that. Fair enough. Ugh, no, I'm glad that I did not see that. Ew. Okay, well, I wanna know if that's happening in Austin, so, again, any students out there. Thank you, Hanratty. I appreciate you. No, I know, Jess. It's very difficult to offend me, and you'll know when I am. Also, it's really very difficult to offend me in this scenario. When I'm, like, all wound up after being yelled at by Scientos, then, like, it's a little easier for me. It depends on where they go for high school or if they're just, like, trafficked into the Sea Org. Oh, but they have to get a diploma first. Aha! So it is a tortoise. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that interview was great. The one from the university, not great. They don't know how to drive either. No driving, no cameras. He loves baseball. There's too much thinking. Also true. Okay, see, now that's valid. It could be that. And the woman who runs the so Jessica Davitt, who is in charge of the preschool, that red building, and then the little one next to this, she was on that boat with Hubbard. She's on that boat. I don't know if she's with Hubbard, but she was definitely on that boat doing ethics BS. Oh, gone a faucet. Thank you. That is helpful. Probably Sue. It's the chiropractor for me. So I think it's a dragon. It's like a because these are the eyes, and this is like the spiky thing on the spine. I can't believe I'm reading that much into it. So yeah, they're like the Sciento server, they have so much stuff going on, and they have all their international stuff on it too, with the exception of Japan. So Japan has its own separate little server, and then they have one little sus server off to the side, and I don't know what that's about because I did not breach it. I was just mapping it out, which is totally legal, everyone. Okay, I did not look for vulnerabilities, nor did I exploit any. The fact that Marty Rathbun's page is not secure, it's just obvious by looking at it. So This could probably Solo Dave also be a sport or a game. What was the website you're talking about to get people's Wi-Fi password? So it's not so much a site. Um, um, you have to have a couple of tools to be able to get to, like, identify the router that you're looking for, and then to get the hash, of the password, which is what you'll be able to find somewhere in the router itself. You'll find a hash, or if you can get directly into the computer, just you'll find a hashed version, and then you run the hashed password through, John the Ripper using Linux, or you could just do it all through Kali, Aircrack NG. Aircrack NG will get that all for you. If you have a Kali Linux machine, it's included. Yes, let me drop you a link really quickly. I'm gonna text it to you, Liz. Okay, I sent it to you, Liz. Right back at you. They did. It could be a Thetan. La Osa Nostra. Accurate. That's what that's what the kids need to be told. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yes? There's more that don't have them that do. Is it in my Google Drive? Let's see if it's in my Google Drive.
Hold on. I was listening to you in my ear.
Okay, we'll hold. We're holding.
See, headphones. Got to switch them.
Got it.
I love that you're talking Mace Kingsley. I'm not going to
I
add my
can't.
stream to it, but I think it's amazing that you're talking about Mace Kingsley, because what happened in the classroom, they did roll call and then they hand you a packet. Now that packet has nothing but math in it, and that's it.
Just like addition?
Just like addition, like 2 plus 2, and then they'll hand you a packet that's got like words to look up. And then from looking up those words, you've got to turn around and find the derivation, where the origins come from, and use the word in a sentence. That's it. When I tell you I had zero education from Mace Kingsley.
And so would that be similar to this Delphi situation with
Yeah.
these stupid books? I
Yeah,
hate
they get
it.
a packet. They get
I hate it.
you get this packet. Now, what Liz Gail can tell you what goes on in Oregon, but you get a packet and it's literally like, quiet time, do your homework. Don't raise your hand to ask a question. Don't try to tell someone you don't know how to read. Like, don't do any of that. Just put your head down and do your packet.
That's not school.
What do you mean it's not school?
That's not school. That's
Oh.
just some sort of
And here I
weird
thought I
torture.
wasted my time doing some schoolwork. Oh, wait, it was a babysitter? Okay, so Mace Kingsley, just in case you didn't know, is a paid babysitter that is going to promise education, but your kid is not going to be educated. How long did I go there? 5 years. That's 5 years of my life I will never get back. 5 years. And it is year round, people. Year round.
I did see that they have a summer
A summer school
session.
now? Wow.
Yeah,
That's
they do.
amazing, because we got to go, Monday through Friday, like clockwork.
Oh, hold on. I now that I clicked on the now that I clicked on the summer program. So you will get one-on-one tutoring. I do you think that means auditing? I bet that means auditing.
It's session. So it's kind of like you're not going to be put, if you're not old enough, you're not going to be put on the cans, but it's like fake therapy. Like, tell me,
Okay.
why do you need your parents? Why do you need to, reach out to anybody? Like, why aren't you understanding this? Why are you causing a problem?
Friendly environment. I don't believe it. Summer fun. I believe that no fun is had.
Well, they go camping. We went to a ghost town. That was my first time in a ghost town. Never been camping before. That was my very first experience, and let me tell you, it sucked donkey.
Camping in Texas in the summer is like punishment.
Camping with Scientology is punishment. So what's the difference?
Right, so double terrible punishment. Oh, wow. Okay, so you get 6 hours of one-on-one tutoring in the 2-week session. Placement testing.
Yeah, placement.
That's whatever their creep-tastic assessment is.
That it's probably an assessment. Like, do you qualify? Because it's a gateway to joining into Scientology. It is absolutely a gateway, just like Delphi, sending people to Delphi that have no religion or non-denominational or whatever it may be. You send a kid to Delphi and they're going to come out a Scientologist, a well-oiled Scientologist.
Well, there's not gonna be any oil left because it's all gonna get dried up in this Texas heat. This is like that. There's so many different like fun, exciting ways of child abuse in this school. They're just like,
Well, don't
wow, we're
forget
gonna
about
like,
Pinewood Academy. Hold on, we're going to see if that's still open.
okay.
I'm like, as long as we're doing it. Oh, Pinewood Academy or Avenue Elementary. Is this kindergarten through 5th grade? I don't know if they're still doing Los Altos. Yeah, Pinewood School. That Pinewood Academy of Literacy. There it is. Oh God.
Do
Yeah.
you
So
want
they
to pull
still
it
do
up
the
or do you
same
want
thing.
me to?
Yeah, Pinewood Academy of Literacy. 1 through 12. Because that was one we got sent to a lot.
Okay. Well, I hate their website. I don't like it.
It's okay. Because
I don't. It's tragic. It looks like FSCIENTO.
yeah, Pinewood Academy was a really big one. We went there and it basically was chaos. Like the kids, I can't tell you how many times I got in trouble for doing something and I had to scrub their floors. Okay, hold on. What part of that is wrong? That was our
No,
discipline. We got to scrub
I
their
mean,
floors.
that's what were you learning from that?
10 by 10 equals 100.
Well, that's good. I mean, that is true.
So when they would tell me to do a 10 by 10, one day I sat there and I counted. And it was 100. I was like, oh, you're helping me with my math.
It's true. Also, they have a podcast.
Ooh, that's even better.
Carson's journey from Pinewoods Theater to the Broadway stage.
Yeah, nobody's going to Broadway.
And then again, with this like average teacher student ratio, 7-1, right? Because there's like, you can't get any more kids. Now, this is interesting. This is interesting to me. So these people are going to be accredited then. These people are
Yeah,
doing a
some of
better
them.
job with their accreditation because if they have AP classes, that means that they are doing other standardized tests. So these kids are probably actually getting into college
Yeah,
if
but
their
they're
parents
not
want
if
to
you're at
send them
Mainz
there.
Kinsley or,
No.
I know some people from Delphi went to college. I know 2 people that went on to college. Liz stolen property PD report in Clearwater, Mace Kingsley. Sorry, I apologize. I got a chihuahua. I got a chiweenie. That's
That's okay. But that's disgusting. So a purse, property found 3 years later next door, birth certificates. But they're not trafficking people, right? I'm just checking.
well, of course they're trafficking because I know I was trafficked from Los Angeles to Florida, and then when my mom got caught doing what she did in Florida, I wasn't going to school those 6 months. I was 8 years old. Last I checked, I there was no graduation between then and then, so I just didn't go to school. It was winter chicken dinner.
This is so gross. But also, they picked the wrong person to mess with. Because I don't play around about education. I kind of already blew up that part of my career, but there's always time to bring it back.
Right?
It's just like, how did you have a comeback in your career? Well, I decided that I was going to take down FSCIENTO schools. He's in China. I'll be posting all of this on the new website because I did buy the domain fsciento.com, so I will be building up a website for that. And I can put all this stuff here. About some other websites too, but we're not going to talk about those yet. I went on a domain buying spree because GoDaddy's having a sale. Just saying, if anyone thinks it's something that I should get, just let me know.
California
Leave
State
it to
Prison
the
teaches real schooling. Yeah, the prison teaches better schooling, and the food is not. I've only had like a couple of relatives do a couple nickels. And for those of you that don't know the term nickel, either did I. I got educated in it. A nickel is 5 years. A dime is a tenner. But they really do little stuff like that. And the food in prison isn't as bad as what we were being served when we were Sea Org members.
The food is so bad at the Austin org that they all go next door to
But
eat
the question is,
Chipotle.
how do they afford it? Like $47 a week is not going to go far at Chipotle. Like, I just need to know.
And the staff aren't making anything because no one's there on
Staff make
course.
more. Staff make more.
But who's
I
going
don't
in
know
with
how
me
much
out
staff.
there? Well,
True.
and Tanya is staff, and her husband own this Dumby school, so
Yeah,
she
well,
might be able to afford it.
Yeah, you can charge ridiculous rates, but did you buy the SPTV?
I did not.
Someone's trying
Who
to
is
get you to buy it.
SPTV? No, I did not. I was gonna buy Who is Leslie Perlman, but then I was like, I want to see what they're gonna do. Let them have it. Let them have it.
Yeah, I'm prepared. Like, are you going to tell me that I'm fat? I'm not fat. I'm fluffy. Are you going to tell me that I'm a nerd? Well, thank God I found some good schooling.
Accurate. And like, what are you gonna say about me? Like, she's really loud. Duh.
Well, they didn't talk to you softly. And I love what you do. I love when you go out there and you're so vocal and you're literally like, "Hey, I'm me. I look so nice, so friendly. Scientology's a cult."
Right. I just
It's
like
the
I
fear
just
factor
blast
that
it
you
out.
get them with. It's literally the
And I'll be like chatting with, like, I'll be in chat, just be like, hey, what's up? Welcome in. And then I'm just like, child trafficker! Just at the top of
my
my
dog
lungs.
is hearing you through this and loving it.
I do match energy. I'll be out there tomorrow asking all the questions about Tanya's little school.
Well, eventually we have some dear friends that are in Texas. So I figured eventually I would just go visit. And if I
Yes,
visit, then
please.
you and I need to go out to lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't drink, but you're more than welcome to drink. But other than that,
Well,
I am down.
I do eat.
Well,
and I like to
Me too.
troll Sciento. I love trolling F Sciento with their busted door. I love that they were
Hey,
so desperate
I
to
now
close
have.
that door day one that they broke it. They were so mad that me and Danny was there too. They were so mad we were there that they like broke their stupid door on day two of it being open. That's why you can't have nice things, F Sciento.
Someone was asking, let's see, I'm a bit behind. If Liz is still, oh, dang. All right, Hawkeye. Some of us have lost our glasses. So, okay. So I'm a bit behind. If Liz is still on, would you ask her about kids and KRs, please? Yeah, you are to knowledge report, the whole situation, time, place, form, and event. And even if you're writing up your friend, like I can't tell you how many times I got written up for farting in class. Like, well, I'm sorry. Like it just popped up to say hello, but now it's gone back down below. I don't know what to say, but I got in
Yeah.
trouble all the time for it.
Well, it's probably because of something that you did in a past life.
Yeah, I
Somebody
pulled
ate
it in. I
beans.
pulled in. They would tell me all the time that I pulled in my stomach hurting. I'm pretty sure it was your food.
Yeah.
Like, pretty sure it was your food. I love your
Um,
chat.
how, how old is Tanya? I don't know. 20s, somewhere in her 20s, old enough to be married to her weird husband, Corbin, but she was trafficked into this org as well. Um, that's absolute facts right there.
Yeah. Are you an Aries?
Oh, yes.
When's your birthday?
April 8th.
I'm the day after.
Nice. That checks out.
I'm a
Also,
solid 9.
oh, yeah. Well, first of all, I love that the Chicago door is broken. I love that for them. I love that for them. Yes, they would, and they would probably just the
Crap
blinds
their
would be
pants.
closed. They would like close. They would like lock those doors, or they would just like have like the whole Austin Police Department, because the Austin Police Department now is guarding the cult and letting children in, like holding the door open for kids, and then like just hiding out inside. So
And the worst part is you'll see parents, like that's what I've seen a couple of times in your lives where I'm seeing parents like drag their kids. Like you could tell like they've got a grip on their kid's hand. And
yeah,
I'm like, if you've got to pull your kid in like that, trust me, they don't want to be there. Something bad happened. Oh, my son's birthday. Good birthday. All Aries are good. Because we're all
awesome,
we're all
Rick.
fire signs and have like firecracker in us. Like we're calm until we're not.
Right. And it's just like, what happened to the building? Why does it feel so warm? Because two Aries are here. Also, it's Texas. Also, maybe do a locational or whatever it's called when y'all put hands on the building like a bunch of weirdos.
What, you don't want to get a nervousist?
No.
It's where they just go down your back and up and back and back, and all of a sudden you're supposed to be like, I feel so much better.
Well, then if that works, why would you need a chiropractor? And why would you need a crooked chiropractor at that?
Are you talking about, oh God, what is his name? Kepler, James Kepler, Sacramento, California.
There's one here too, Brent or something.
Hmm.
Brent something.
There's also a Mike, what was his name? I can't remember his name. It was Mike something, but he used to sub in for Kepler, and it was like Scientology hunting ground. Mellow, you're a virgin. Let me get you in the back,
Oh
and I'm going to
God.
tell you about Scientology.
No, thank
Sorry, I had
you.
to.
Well, and they took those kids on the website. There was like, oh, kids in a doctor's office. I'm like, that's a chiropractor, not a doctor. If that stuff works for you, great. I not a fan, and certainly not an F Sciento chiropractor.
Right. All I know is that I've been duped. I've been tricked into, oh yeah, feel my finger, feel my finger. Totally forgot to turn my volume off. Feel my finger, feel my finger. And then all of a sudden I'm sitting there like, no, my sunburn still hurts. It still hurts. And they're like, oh, you just didn't do it right. Let's do it again. Feel my finger. And every time they would touch my sunburn, I'm all, feel it good, you know? And then they would sit there and tell you, doesn't that feel so much better? No, bitch, because everywhere your finger just
No,
touched is on fire.
right. Like, are you new to sunburn, ma'am?
Yeah, but you'd also get lower conditions too if you got a sunburn. So,
Well, where was Tomato Face? He should have been in lower conditions then, because after him being out one day doing his security BS, at the FSCIENTO opening, he got all sunburned. He was all tomato face. So he's definitely lower conditions.
yep.
That whole building is giving lower conditions. And also, the more that I think about it, I think that Scientology is the most dev T cycle of all dev T cycles. Like, does Scientology realize that it's dev T to itself or no?
No, a lot of people don't realize that they're dev T to themselves. A lot of people stick their foot in their mouths and literally just start talking and just leave that foot right in there. And unfortunately, it's yes, Scientology is absolutely known for that. And, you know, they do the best that they can.
I have a new sign for tomorrow, so, because I've been learning new Sciento lingo, I'm determined to make it my own and take that away from them
Okay,
because it will make them mad, and that's fun for me. So,
good.
tomorrow, my sign will say, "I'm not, Servacking, you are." And we're gonna see what they have to say about that because it's true. It's true. I'm not, you are.
Yeah, I know you are, but what am I? You know, my
Right,
favorite
but
that they
also they
would,
would say that I was by saying that. So it's the dumbest Sciento inception ever, and I just want all their little stupid heads to be like the hamster wheel off the track.
hey, well, if you want to do that, you know what works for me, and you've probably heard it on my lives. Why can't you get your TRs in? Like, that was a really bad training routine. Would you like to repeat? You know, do we need to start over? Fail, flunk,
Flunk.
start over, you know, and
I
you
like
just sit
that
there and tell
one.
them.
I do like that one. I like to tell them to stay keyed out, bro. Stay
Yeah.
keyed out, bro.
I still like tone 40 makes you gay.
I do too. That was great. And they were very confusion, as well
Yeah.
they should be.
I love
Yeah,
how
I'll be
people are
there.
like, enjoy watching it. Like, you should all love Pearl. Are you kidding me? Pearl is a pearl.
That's right. These pearls of wisdom.
Assigned to as a second language. Well, it was my first. So, because it was my first, you know, everything else
Um,
is what does that mean? Tone
are we
40
act
makes you
Yeah, which
gay?
I'm not sure which one she was asking about, so we'll answer all of them.
Yeah. So tone 40 makes you gay. Tone 40 is like hyper vigilant, like you're getting something done. I'm going to succeed. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go for it. I'm tone 40. You know, like you're on crack. And then you have to sit there and kind of just like project that whatever you want is going to come to you. You're going to pull it in, you know, but not the bad stuff. Not the bad stuff. Because if you're tone 40, everything you want will happen for you.
Until you're not tone 40 anymore, and then all of a sudden, like, "Oops, you became a suppressive person," and it's like, "I guess the technology didn't work then."
Yep. Like there's more suppressive people out there than there is actually Scientologists. So at what
And they're
point
probably getting there quickly. I could see it on their faces.
the more people that talk, the more people that do stuff like you do, the better. Like my therapist asked me, you know, what is the overall goal of this? And originally I used to say just get my dad out and anybody else out. But I've just come to realize that I just want to prevent every single child from having my childhood.
Right.
You know, you may not have my childhood being a Sea Org, like a Sea Org kid, but you would definitely have my childhood if your parents were Scientologists.
Right. Absolutely, and I mean, Punk talks about that, when she's
Here, let
out
me
there.
let me pause the screen real quick because I think I got a dog situation.
Okay. Um, so so if you're keyed out, that means that you're doing things right. Why it's not keyed in, I don't know, but keyed out means that, like, you've got your TRs in, your ethics are in, um, and then the service facsimile is a serve fac. I'm gonna see if I get this right. So, a facsimile is like a mental image. So, an example in, like, regular world would be If a kid was sick, if the kid didn't wanna go to school and they faked being sick, the parent would say, "You're serve facking me," because the kid is making up a lie, trying to make themselves correct and the parents incorrect. An example in Scientology would be somebody who's in charge of Tanya saying, "Hey, Tanya, go out there and handle Pearl." And Tanya looks at her and she's like, "I can't do that. That's impossible. You're surf backing."
Yeah.
So
And
that's
surf hacking is
essentially
back talking.
gaslighting. Yeah, it's like a gaslighting procedure that they like to engage in. So I'll be teasing them with that too. I'm also trying to figure out like, do I want to get the streamers for a maypole, or are we just gonna like run around random trees um, to do that rundown? Because I'm just gonna make fun of everything that they do.
That's right. That's all you can do. Like me personally, I have a goal to embarrass them. Like I want to just
Yeah,
embarrass anybody that hurt kids.
yeah.
And the problem is some people are not getting the message, so we need to say it a little louder for those in the back.
Well, I think one of the if I just like yell child trafficker at them, it's actually not very effective. But if I talk about child auditing, that makes every one of them pause because at least they're like they have something a frame of reference for what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
And it's not that I'm trying to help them understand, it's just that, like, if I'm gonna be out there yelling, I want them to actually be mad at what I'm saying because they understand it.
I would go with when was the last time your child was touched by an adult that was not a family member and they called it an assist?
Ooh, that's a good one too.
Because remember, whoever's available to give that assist, you could be 12 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old. I can't tell you how many grown men gave me an assist.
Gross.
And that means feel my finger. But it sounds a little like feel my finger. It doesn't sound like you're doing anything good. It just sounds like feel my finger.
That's the one right there.
Why do I pay more to tell kids about sexual fantasies? You know, no, you should. Do I
And, like,
get
you
to
could
tip you
tell.
when? Do I get to tip you when I tell a child a sexual fantasy?
Ugh.
Because realistically, if half the people like Serge was an auditor, so he got to hear all of this stuff. I personally was not an auditor, but I know that I spewed some stuff to my auditors. You know, um, not a lot of the gay stuff because I really didn't think it would work, but I definitely made myself very whorish when I was explaining to them that I had done the nookie nookie.
Right. I mean, everyone's getting what they paid for, I guess, at that point. These people are such creeps. And the more I learn, the more I'm just disgusted. And, like, the people that opened that school are both very evil people.
Hmm.
The one here, they're very evil. I think Tanya and her husband are not as evil as the other 2, but they're getting there. If they don't get out soon and they don't, like,
You should
stop
also
ignoring the
tell
cognitive
people.
dissonance.
Oh, my mine is a regular camera. I have an Apple though. You should also tell people if you're taking emergency, if you go to the store, Target, Walmart, I don't care what it is, and you're literally buying anything called emergency, yes, it was created by a teacher. The teacher, had some brilliant ideas, but you're also putting money in Scientology's pocket each time,
Right.
just
So
like a lot of
auditing is
brands of
kind of like
CalMac.
it's like a
It's
combo of
Yeah, it's like a
compassion and,
combo. It's
like,
more like
disguised
for
as
us, we were
counseling.
raised to believe that it was a lie detector and it could tell when you're lying. It can tell when you're telling the truth. No, it can't. That's just fear. But it's supposed to be like, what's that thought? That thought right there. Right there. What was that thought? I got gassy. Sorry.
Right. I had
You
a
know,
cramp.
I had to move my leg. But it wasn't until I was this past weekend when we were down in LA, not this weekend, the weekend before when we were in LA, Serge had said to Carrie, if your bra is tight, don't forget you have to take your bra off. And I instantly remembered Oh yeah, I remember going into auditing and being told I had to take my bra off while I was getting one of my sec checks.
No.
You can't have tight clothing on because it ruins it. Don't you know that?
Okay, that is so pervy.
I'm just letting you know that still happens to this day.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. It's let's see. When Serge was doing the meter with the squirrels and he talked about men undoing or taking off their pants. Ugh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nothing tight on because that can create a problem. So the more I learn, the more I'm convinced it's just an interrogation. It's similar to an interrogation because the sec check is absolutely an interrogation, but the auditing is different. The auditing, they have like a guide plan. So it's not massive questions back to back to back, but it's like, tell me how your day is going. Like, explain to me what is on your mind. Hey, Snappy, I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona. I appreciate you a lot and the passion you have. Yeah, I appreciate your passion. There's days that, you know what?
Thank
I
you.
had a mental breakdown yesterday. And you know what? You know what I do? I go back and I watch some of her videos because it cracks me up and it makes me go. I had a full-on mental, like not mental break, but it literally, I was shaking, I was crying, I couldn't get myself under control. And sometimes I just need to laugh because when it gets that bad, I need to laugh. Otherwise, it just gets worse, everybody.
I get it. And that's why sometimes I just go out there and I'm sassier than others, you know? It's like being a human is one thing, being a consistent human is damn near impossible. And I'm not trying to be perfect. So there are days where I'm going to be more sing and like just jokes about everything. And there are some days where I'm just going to be like, it's everything in me to not just like scream everything terrible that I can think of to say to these people. Also, I used to live in Scottsdale, and that's where I learned about Basis, the worst charter school in the world. And one day I will talk about how ridiculous they are and how they scam people.
Someone
That's
just
what happens when
found
you have like a charter school owned by a bunch of libertarian economists.
for Google, Pfizer bought emergency company in 2012. I wonder if they're Sciento members. No, someone else just found it. Hold on, where did it go? That emergency is owned by Scientology, and they just found a bunch of, oh, yep, there, Dr. Berg. Here we go. Dang, I use emergency and just found out some supplements by Dr. Berg. Tied to COS, yep.
Gross.
So if you want to know it all, you just have to, you have to be on Pearl's channel, or you can. Well, I'm Pokemon and Colts, so let's be real. I had a pretty messed up childhood.
None,
Yeah,
Sharona, I think is the answer to
their
that.
emotion isn't like because so Scientology. The way I was so easily duped is primarily because you know I I literally um I have a problem where I don't deal with emotions well. I don't know if it's from other things, but I don't deal with emotions. So for me, it worked really well in my head until I found out that it was a bad thing. But now I'm learning emotions and what emotions are and that they're okay to have. And, it's just taking a little bit more time because try growing up with the get your TRs in. I'll give you a reason to cry. Or that didn't hurt. Yeah.
No one likes that. No one likes that. No one likes to be told what to do and shamed for everything that they do all the time. It's just like I grew up that way. I just didn't have Scientology. I just had Catholic and Jewish guilt, which is a whole other thing. Um, but being raised by having like shame as the tactic that keeps you in line, um, messes us up for a really long time because that shame is very difficult to overcome. And I see it and I hear it in all your voices. And so when I see those people out there and they're looking at me as if I should be ashamed, like all those Scientos when I'm out there, and they're looking at her like she has no shame. I'm like, you have no shame. You have no shame. You're the one out there doing all the creepy stuff and taking a lot of money for it and ruining families. Okay, I might just make my parents mad. That's very different from ruining family.
Yeah, and they're paying thousands of dollars to play with clay. Like, you want to pay me a couple $1,000s? I'll give you a box of Play-Doh or Play-Doh, whatever it's
Right.
called. I will give it to you for, I'll give it to you for free. Like, it's
I
free.
mean,
Here's some
we just
Play-Doh.
dig some out of the yard.
Right? There you go.
We've clay here.
Mm-hmm. I've seen my
Oh,
friend. That's incredible. Hurdle. You're a beautiful human being. I hope so. But we all have mental health, not all of us, I shouldn't say, but we do have times. There's good times, there's bad times. And um, it's understandable you thought it worked. Is that, you believed it worked. Yep. It's amazing how strong. Yeah, we have to share our journey. It's not just we want to, it's we have to. Because it literally, if we can tell our story of what we've been through and it can prevent someone else from having that experience, then it's worth it. Does it hurt sometimes? Yeah, because we're tearing open wounds. We're literally like grabbing all of our wounds and just ripping it open, putting them on the surface. And some people are throwing dirt at it. And some people are like, here's a Band-Aid. But if we can tell our truth of what happened to us and it prevents or it wakes someone up, then we should continue telling our truth and telling people what happened to us. Because
absolutely.
it was not fun. Being told your dad was dead, that sucked. Like, that was a hard phone call for me. It shattered me because so much of me was like, I should be crying. I should be crying. Why can't I cry? I can't cry. What's wrong? Like, and I'm very unemotional, and it's scaring me. Like, oh my God, am I a sociopath? Am I a killer? Like, oh my God, am I
Right.
really Jeffrey Dahmer? Like, I couldn't grasp what was going on. And then after years and years of processing, I got to a point where I was like, okay, and my dad's gone. That sucks. I'll never get that chance. And then, almost 20 years later, I found it, just kidding. He's not dead. You're just gay, and because you gay, he dead. Okay. That's phenomenal.
Totally normal.
Yeah. Because
Totally normal.
yeah, it happens every day, right? Someone gets told that someone's dead. Like, I don't know what you guys do during the day, but I try not to tell anybody that someone's dead and them not be.
Faces does suck. I mean, I think how else were you supposed to react though? Because you were taught your whole life to have no emotions to anything.
No
It's
emotions
interesting to me.
whatsoever.
Well, but it's interesting to me that your first instinct was like, I should cry and I should be sad. So like
My
that's the
friends were
human
all
in you
crying.
overriding that bullshit. And so like inside you knew, which is why you're here now. Cause you were like,
Mhm.
no, this isn't fuck this. I don't like it. Doesn't feel good. This is terrible. And I think most of us have those scenarios where you're like, hold on here. Something's not right. You
Mhm.
might not walk away that day. It might not all add up that day, but that's the day that like some stuff starts
Yeah, because one day
adding
the
up.
people that you were yelling at and letting them know the truth, one day they're going to be able to come up to you and be like, you know what, Pearl? Thank you. You saved my family. And that in
And at that
itself.
point, I'll be like, I'm sorry that I got so close to your face and yelled child trafficker at you, but you were then. I'm glad that you're not now. How can I help you?
Yeah,
How can we help you? Welcome
yeah.
to the world where people are not what you thought. And
And
also
you
tell
don't
me
have to
everything
pay for
about the
friendship.
Shore story. Tell me about my Shore story. Tell me all the True Hollywood BS that they said about me in that org. Because I want to know what they're saying
You
about
just
me.
want to be a fly on the wall to know what they're saying.
Right. Who's paying me? Is it Leah? Is it Leah paying me? Is it Big Pharma? Who's paying me to be here?
Oh my God, it's big pharma. It's big
Mm,
pharma. I would say they're
okay.
paying me too, but last I checked, that their name wasn't on my pay stub. And
Mine
yeah, and
either.
I have to still pay for my medication. So I don't work for big pharma, guys.
Same. Because I just want to be like, well, do you want the receipt for my medication or no? Because
I can
I'm
pull
not
up my
even
I
getting a
can pull
discount.
up my app right now and I'll just be like, there you go. Here's my list. Guess how much I pay. Liz explained the dolls the college students saw in Chicago. So the dolls are meant there for like if you need to practice assists. Like at least that's what it was for us as kids. Like feel my finger, feel my finger. Like are you doing it right kind of thing and you're touching and you're waiting for them to respond. Yeah, you're waiting for a damn doll to respond. But you're doing that and then you're practicing. It's all sorts of levels of creepy once you start saying things out loud. Because I didn't think that part was creepy as a kid, but now hearing it out loud, I'm like, okay, maybe it is a little creepy.
It's so creepy. Just here to confirm.
Mm-hmm.
Totes creeps. So
Mm-hmm.
Ian Rafelko is Dr. Bird's SP son.
Yep. And he has a
Okay.
YouTube channel.
I know I've heard the name. It's hard to keep up. I'm trying to learn so much
He
all
has
at one time.
long brown hair, like forms his face.
Oh, yes, yes.
Very
Okay, no, I
long.
did watch that, and I
Yep.
loved him. Yes, okay.
Good Lord, Electra. That's a picture.
I do need the calendar that they've undoubtedly made of me. I think that Davey just doesn't know how to say he's 2D flowing me and how to get rid of Lou, but also I'm not that into you, Davey.
You have a height requirement? You must be this
I
tall
do
to
have a
ride this
height. You
ride?
you have to be taller than me, okay? I'm not even gonna give a number, but you have to be taller than me, bro. Is Mike Rinder paying me? Mike Rinder,
Never had a
would
conversation
probably
with the person.
I've never talked to him, but also, if I did ever talk to him, I would only have one question. I have one question for Mike Rinder, and that is, when Davey dies, are you gonna just, like, go back to OSA? Are you gonna take it over? Just gonna go back? That's all I wanna know.
I
That's all I
would
wanna know.
think
You don't even
not.
have to.
I honestly think not. But then, I mean, I don't know Mike as a human being. I don't know him. I know him as a person. I sat at many awards where he said, "Welcome to the stage, Mike Rinder," and you had to hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray. And then if you didn't hip hip hooray loud enough, you got in trouble. But other than that, I don't know him as a human being.
Well, he was an
I
indie Scientologist when he left. I think he hates David more than anything, and I think if Elron was still there and not Davey, he would still be in there. And I think that the second that Davey's out, he's gonna run back home. That's I mean, there's a reason that there's betting odds on this, right?
yeah,
I
I've
think
heard that there's
my
some people that are saying that certain people are going to go back, and I it was hell in there for me, so I would not want to go back to that hell. It was never, you know, the people that
Marty
usually
misses
want to go
him.
back.
Marty misses him. Marty misses him.
Well, that just sounds tooty flowing. Like, ew.
Have you seen my troll account on TikTok?
I have not. I have not.
So this is the picture. This is the profile picture of Marty and Mike. And the name of the account.
All right,
I'm just
Shardy Rod
saying,
Bun.
they miss one another. They just miss one another.
Want to know? So
Tell me that
apparently
they're not
are.
running the OSA satellite org right now. But again, that's why there's betting odds, right? That's
Yeah.
why
If I was a betting person,
I
I
would
would
like.
not take a few bets because
Well,
unfortunately,
take the under on it then. Still, like either way, a whole bunch of us are going to make a whole bunch of money. We just need to figure out how to like get Vegas to take the bet so that we can all place our bets legally. Because I'm not trying to get in trouble from Sean and Galena for illegally running numbers on Mike Rinder. Because he would.
I
Best
would.
Sciento hissy fits though that I've ever seen. That man throws the best Sciento hissy fits.
I will honestly say I've never had the wrath of that, which is good because I'm not the same person I was when I was in the Sea Org. I'd probably swing on someone if they tried to do that. Because, like,
And you saw that he didn't try that mess with me. He was just putting in his little decimal meter. And the cops, not amplified. Sorry that dear leaders, stupid party is
Mhm.
ruined. The best thing that could happen to Sean would be if he lost his job and had to go just have a life.
Yeah. Like there's so many things to do. Like there's therapy. I I'm all about some therapy. Like speaking of which, I've got like 3 minutes, and then I'm gonna do some of that therapy. Um, but
I love my therapist, and I sent her my
absolutely,
videos. I sent her the one
my
of me and
therapist
Michael.
watches my videos.
Mine too.
She's in my
Well, I have to
lives.
send them. I have to send them because she'll kind of forget.
No, mine just clicks right in and goes to my lives. She follows me on YouTube. Kids today hate clowns and dolls.
I'm actually thinking about writing a book with my therapist about um
My psychiatrist wants to write a book about my life. I'm like,
my psychiatrist does too because I got the whole team as well. But just like getting out of like the major depression that I was in by going and raging at sign-toes and
here's
like what
helping
I've
you.
learned about that and just like looking at what triggers me when I'm talking to them and like iteratively going through that process, she's like, I would have never imagined that like protesting would
Mhm.
be that. And I'm like, oh no, no, no. It's the best thing that I've ever done.
Yeah,
It's
this
it's
honestly
bringing
is
awareness.
is like a double therapy for me, because
Mhm.
for me I have my psychiatrist team, I have my therapist team, and then I come on here and I vent to my friends and family because I don't call everybody subscribers. That's just not my deal. On my channel, it's friends and family, and that's why it's a safe space, because I need it to be a safe space. And I need there to be a friends and family. Otherwise, it's hard for me to talk.
For sure.
Like
For
if I
sure.
think that it's just bouncing off people and nobody's listening, then it's hard. Yeah, it's cathartic. Yeah.
It's absolutely cathartic. And this is all I'm saying. And you don't have to agree with me. This is just my outsider's view. This is just like I don't because I'm not gonna ever talk about him. It's completely transparent that he's not behaving properly right now. If I'm being kind and generous in my summarization of his behavior. But in reality, when I yelled at Davy, Mike Rinder wants back in, I said what I said. I said what I said.
And I'm not going to dispute it. Again, it's freedom of
Right.
speech. I may have differences
And
of
no one needs to agree
opinions,
with me, right?
but at the same time,
I mean, it's a 1-0 answer, right? There's only 2 outcomes. Either you will or
yeah,
you
it's a
won't.
flip of a coin.
So,
It's a
I'm just
50-50.
I'm just picking my side so that if I am right, I could be like, "See, I told you." And if I'm wrong, I'll
You
be
bet
like,
on black, don't you?
"Yeah,
Okay.
I do." Um, I do. But
You're a
also
statistical probability person, aren't you?
yes, but also I'll bet on 33 because that's my number. So this one, yes. And, so Danny playing, Aaron talking to Melissa, it was, and you can see it in the staff, even in Austin. Those people were sold a bill of goods, and
Yeah.
it's not happening. Do you think that have you seen all the streams of people just marching right on into that Ideal Org as soon as they opened it? Oh, me either. Me either. I was just checking.
Yeah, and a
There
lot of the people that you did see at the grand opening of the let's be real, they were shuttled in from other locations, because that, first of all, 85% of them were not dressed correctly for Texas.
right.
So
That was
you
not Uptown, Texas, I'm just saying.
like, even if you're dressing very nice, you're not going to wear suits like wool suits outside. It's stupid. If you live in California, you might during this season, but not Texas.
Right. I don't want you to be late to your therapy.
Oh,
It is
I
at the
just
top of
lost
the
track of
hour.
time. All right. Love you. You're doing amazing. You are
Love you
doing
too.
amazing. Keep up the good work. Everybody, smash the like, hit subscribe.
That's right, or come out with your cans up.
Yeah, come out with your cans up. I
Alright,
love
I'll
you.
talk to you soon.
Toodle.
Bye. That is true. That is true. Um, well, you got here just in time for me to probably end this. Um, we have been here, I was like, "This'll be like a half an hour," but I guess I do. So, About the QR codes. So one of the things that I can do is when I am done setting up fsciento.com, I can have all of the QR codes direct back there that will give people all the information that they need. I don't feel comfortable repping the Aftermath Foundation simply because of the NDA. If they got rid of that NDA, I would be like, yeah, they have the money and they should be out there helping you. But I'm not going to force somebody to be like, well, the only thing I know about is like this thing where you have to like disclose like who where what orgs were you in, what orgs did you participate in, where did you have where were you on course, what family members of yours are still in fsciento, what family members of yours are out of fsciento, all that just to get some help. Hell no, that's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, and that's mandatory required in addition to the NDA. That just in good conscience I would not send somebody to a foundation that had rules like that. um I would not have mixed. I would have more mixed feelings about it if they weren't acting like they're still trying to gather all of the information possible, like they are still in OSA. And I said what I said. And I don't know these people. And you know what? If they want to have a comment about me and make little blog posts and then have their little friends named Cindy, which is still Mike on a sock account, like reply back to it, be like, I wish I could like this 100 times. Then you know what? Go on with your bad self. Good luck. Best of luck on your final exams. um Sean always looks like he's having a panic attack, but he was like very empowered there because I think he caught them off guard a little bit and they gave him too much power. You can't give him anything. You have to like stomp your foot right back at that little man. He'll give up. Um for sure it will link to the survivor channels. Or to a landing page with all of that on the website. But I will be setting that up. That's exactly what it is. KK. It's exactly what it is. All right. Cinder Rinder. That's exactly right. So thank you for listening. If you know any more about any of the ways that they're infiltrating schools, specifically in Texas, let me know. I'll probably expand my search and see if I can find anything else in Dallas or anything else. And I'm going to keep looking and I'm going to look into anything that I can find on them. But it's very small and they don't have a lot of kids. Like, to be honest with you, you couldn't even report scores for that school because you need at least 5 kids to compute a mean and to report it, because otherwise you could identify certain kids. So there's not going to be data out there until they get more kids or they have more years of data and they can aggregate it. But I'll see. I'm sure that they're not accredited, and if they are, it's by some BS thing. Yes, you certainly can. And if you need me to sign something, just email it to me and I will sign it for you, Dr. Pearl Snappy. That's right. Keep all of your TRs in. Hello, Hellraiser Mugs 13. We are going to be signing off. Yes, I'm waiting for his foundation to be ready, but there's so much bureaucracy and wet signatures and digital signatures and all that stuff. So we will be out there tomorrow talking to the people at the org while they try to ignore me and keep their TRs in. It's a good time for everyone. So thank you so much. Thank you, Lori. It's truly my pleasure. I will talk to everyone probably tomorrow. So thanks for stopping by. I will talk to you soon. Thanks to my mods. Thanks to the best chat. And thanks always for supporting me. Make sure that you like it. Come out with your cans up. And make sure that you're still subscribed. Talk to you soon.